My girlfriend and I have never had sex, and it's been almost 5 years. Am I the a-hole? Yes, I mean never. Me, 27M, and my girlfriend, 26F, have been together for almost 5 years. When the relationship started, I assumed she was being flirty and building temptation. We were having so much fun going on dates, and I was just excited for the time to come. And it still hasn't come. I have tried to talk to her. I've brought this up hundreds of times. Every time I gently start the conversation, she starts crying and says she feels guilty, and she gets angry at me for always bringing it up. At the start, she said she has vaginismus, which, after a quick Google search, looks like an issue with the muscles inside the vagina making sex painful or sometimes impossible. She has seen a specialist about this once because I asked her to, and has the tools for exercises that they use to fix it. They've been sitting in her bedside drawer ever since. I'm not blaming her for having this, and I'm sure that it's a horrible experience, but sitting here for 5 years waiting doesn't feel fair. The last time I mentioned it, she says she has just never had the drive to have sex, and it's not something she's ever wanted. But it is something that I want. I've asked her to go to the doctor to get her hormone levels checked, which she did. She went off birth control about 3 months ago, and absolutely nothing has changed. This makes it hard for me though, because it seems like she's starting to put in some kind of effort. She is beautiful and smart, and she has a good job. We live together and her family love me. We do everything together, and I miss her when she's not around. I just don't know if I can live like this. I've already spent 5 years of my 20s in a sexless relationship. I've been hoping that she would just have some sort of awakening or breakthrough and become a sexual person. She's recently been bringing up engagements. She's feeling annoyed that her friends who have been together for less time than us are getting engaged, and I haven't asked her. I honestly can't see myself proposing and trapping myself in a life where I never have sex again. Am I the a-hole for building resentment toward her and expecting her to change after all this time? What do I do? I'm sure OP has had many conversations with their partner about this issue, but ultimately, I think they need to seriously establish if it's the kind of relationship that she wants. If she's happy in a sexless relationship, then it just isn't meant to be. Don't sacrifice your happiness just because you've invested 5 years into this person. Yeah, this sounds dead in the water, OP. You're too young for this. You are sexually incompatible, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's unfair to keep each other in a relationship if you aren't compatible. Listeners, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to tell my sister that her boyfriend is the father of my son? I'm not really sure how to start this. I'm in a really uncomfortable situation and would appreciate some outside perspective. Back when I, 24F, was in college, I had a serious relationship with someone I'll call Luke, 26M. We dated for over a year, and it was pretty serious. Near the end of the relationship, I got pregnant. It wasn't planned, but I decided I was going to keep the baby. Luke initially said he would support me. We agreed to tell our families and figure things out from there. The next day, he disappeared. No calls, no texts. A couple days later, I got a package in the mail with some cash and a short note that just said something like, "for the abortion." That was it. I never heard from him again. I was angry, embarrassed, and honestly overwhelmed. I ended up moving back home and raising my son by myself. I didn't tell my family who the father was. I just said the relationship didn't work out and that I didn't want to talk about it, and they didn't push. Fast forward to now. My son is 2 and things are okay. I have support from my family, I'm working, and I found some stability. A few weeks ago, my sister, 28F, told me she was bringing her new boyfriend of a couple months to her birthday dinner. She seemed really happy about it, so we were all looking forward to meeting him. It was that goddamn motherfucker Luke. We both immediately recognised each other, but neither of us said anything in front of anyone. I left dinner early. I think I was just stunned and unsure how to even process it. Later that night, he came by and asked if we could talk. He told me his parents found out about the pregnancy back then, and that they pulled him out of school and cut him off from me completely. He said they were the ones who sent the money and the note, and that he didn't know I'd gone through with the pregnancy. He thought I'd had an abortion and that it was over. I don't know how much of that was true, but he did seem genuinely surprised and shaken. We talked for a while, and eventually he asked if I was going to tell my sister. I told him I wasn't planning to. I said I didn't want to create unnecessary conflict, especially if the relationship was new and might not go anywhere. That was a few weeks ago. I haven't told my sister anything, and Luke hasn't reached out again. But I've been sitting with this, and I don't know what to do. I don't want to lie to my sister, but I also don't want to cause drama if this relationship fizzles out on its own. At the same time, if things don't fizzle, and he stays in her life long term, it feels worse to stay quiet. I've been avoiding being around them, which I think she's noticed. I don't think she suspects anything, but I also know I can't avoid this forever. I can definitely understand why you wouldn't want to tell her, but the longer you wait, the worse it'll get. If that fact will end their relationship, then it needs to end now. There's a great response to this in the comments. Not the a-hole for feeling this way, but ask yourself, if the tables were turned, how would you feel? Could this ruin your relationship if it comes out later? Also, causing a little drama now might be worth preventing a family split later. What if your sister gets pregnant? Do you really want her suffering the way you did? How will she feel when she realises you kept this from her? How will this make your child feel, seeing their dad be the dad for their cousin, but not you? Let's be honest, with today's DNA kits, it will come out eventually. Maybe let your sister know that you are okay with her choice to stay with him or not, and that by telling her, you're not trying to influence her relationship. Let her know you just want her to know everything because you love her, and don't want to keep secrets from her, and you felt like keeping this would cause her more pain. And take away her voice and how she feels about this very random and unlikely situation. He definitely has a type. Am I the a-hole if I don't tell my gay son about this part of my past? I'm a 53-year-old dad to 3 kids, including a wonderful son that is 16. For the sake of anonymity, I will call him Ethan here. I will also try to keep this as short as possible. Basically, my son is 16 and he came out a few days ago. I reacted very badly. I cried and basically locked myself in my room for a day straight. But not because he's gay. I do not care about his homosexuality by itself. I love him so much. And I've always been very supportive of gay people, I think, even in the 90s when it was not as accepted as it is now. I never cared about it. I even had a gay brother who was 2 years younger than me. My breakdown to my son's coming out happened because of what happened to him. He was gay, my favourite person in the world, my best friend, and my confidant. A bit scrawny, but he had a heart of gold. Genuinely the kindest person on earth. But some people decided him being gay was enough to hurt him. 3 guys attacking my baby brother because he looked at them weird. I was there. I tried to stop it, but I couldn't do anything except call the police, and only 1 guy got caught. And yet, the police did nothing. That's what happens when the victim is a gay kid in Nebraska farmland, I guess. Anyway, they got away with it, even though my brother got missing teeth, a twisted wrist, and 2 broken ribs. He stayed in hospital for 3 days. The next day, I went to check on him, and he'd overdosed. He was 19. And basically, I never got over it. I still cry myself to sleep some nights when I'm alone, even more than 30 years later. And my son looks so much like him. I swear, sometimes I wonder if he isn't reincarnated or something. And everything that I've told you, I haven't been able to tell anyone. Not my wife, not my kids, not my gay son. They know my brother died and that I don't want to talk to my parents, but not what exactly happened to him and that I disowned my parents because they were relieved that they wouldn't have to hide their gay son anymore. I do not know what to tell them. It's already hard enough to type this with very few details to strangers on the internet. I don't think I'll be able to tell the ones I love if especially they ask for details. I'm broken, I know that, but I don't know what to do. My son deserves an explanation, but every time I see him I want to cry. He must think I hate him and that breaks me even more. But I just don't know how to say it without breaking down completely. What should I do? Honestly, just show him this post. It says everything that you need to tell them. It may be scary for him to see what happened to your brother, but it's a different time now, and it isn't fair to your brother's memory that this is just swept under the rug. There's also an update to this post which I'll include now. Your comments helped me realise a lot of things. I've been deeply traumatised by my brother's death and need to see a therapist, but more importantly, I owed my family, especially my son, an explanation and an apology. So I decided to tell them. First, I told my wife. I wanted to have someone by my side for when I tell my son. I don't think I'd have been able to do it otherwise. I ended up just showing her my previous post. She cried a lot and told me I should have talked about this a long time ago. She said she was contemplating mentioning divorce to me if I didn't change because she thought I was being so hateful, but now she felt terrible. I told her it wasn't her fault and that I should really apologise to Ethan. I didn't want to show him the post because it didn't feel enough given the harm I caused, so I decided to write a letter, my wife standing by my side all along. I told him I couldn't say it out loud because it hurts too much. I apologised for how I reacted and explained to him he hadn't done anything wrong. Then I explained to him exactly what happened with my baby brother. I gave some more details that I don't feel comfortable writing again. I told him how much I loved him and that I was so sorry for not showing it recently because of my insecurities. I told him I'm so proud of him for coming out and that I will love him and support him always, no matter what. After this, I gave my son the letter without a word. I actually tried saying something, but nothing came out. So Ethan grabbed the letter and went to his room to read it. I was honestly having a panic attack in my wife's arms when Ethan barged into our room, crying and hugging me really tight. He said he was sorry for my brother and that he didn't know. That he was glad I still loved him because he genuinely started to think that I really hated him now. I think that's what broke me, because I realised how I let my trauma make me a terrible father and let it stain my relationship with my boy. Well, my son is doing better now. Today, my son smiled at me for the first time since he came out. I'm planning on taking him to the movies tonight, just the two of us. Also, as you all suggested, I booked a therapy appointment. I need it. I haven't slept at all because whenever my mind goes blank, I either remember when I found my brother or when Ethan told me he thought I really hated him now. I need to get this fixed so I can finally live my life instead of pretending everything is alright. I've kept this all bottled up for so long, I need to let it go now. Thank you so much, everyone. God, this honestly brought a tear to my eye. There is a comment to this post which I do think is also worth including. I'm also a gay 16-year-old, and reading your post broke my heart. I also live in a red state with traditional ideologies, and I cannot stress enough how much your support means for us. I'm so proud of you for being brave and telling your son everything, and with the LGBTQ+ suicide hotline shutting down in July, we need more people like you in this world to ensure no one feels shunned within their own neighbourhoods. I wish the best for you, Ethan, and your family, and I'm very sorry for your loss. It's sad that we live in a world where people like you have to deal with that. Many people are very ignorant towards queer people being murdered, but those are often the same people who believe that it could never happen to anyone that they know or love. And when it does, they have to learn the hard way that speaking up on issues like these is becoming increasingly important. Thank you very much for making it this far. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and leave a comment if any of these stories caught your attention. I'll see you in the next one.